Holy Fools was birthed out of a perceived need to meet those who were on the streets. We noticed at community meals, for example, that when people left, there was more than just a meal they needed. They actually needed some more care. So we began chaplaincy kind of work, and that included taking people to medical appointments, police, court, things like that. And out of the need for sort of an entity to hold some insurance, that's where Holy Fools was originally born, and has grown since 2009 to what it is now. We look after those who are homeless or at risk of homelessness in the Yarra Ranges. We do that in a number of ways, and our primary outreach is Street Angels. That happens on Wednesday, and we provide a meal, and the meal acts as a catalyst to provide people an impetus to turn up, and there we provide the meal and other material aid, including backpack beds, clothing, blankets, etc., etc. The idea, though, that it's much more than that. It's more about a community and engaging with the people who turn up to understand where they're going, what they're doing, and provide that extra extra hope. So we know that there are lots of people who are homeless, but we also know there are a lot of people who are lonely. So we get a lot of people who are turning up at these meals that fall into some of these categories. Holy Fools operates within sort of 4 areas. Outreach is the main Street Angels outreach. We do a lot of education, where we go and speak at schools and community groups, and we talk about homelessness and educate people about what that is, and also describe poverty and sort of try to educate people about some of the issues surrounding homelessness and poverty in the Yarra Ranges. We also do research. Our research is done to not only understand what we're doing to make sure it's meeting the needs of those we're dealing with, but it's also done to help provide data and material to raise funds, but also promote the fact that there is a growing need of help and welfare services out this way, because there's no crisis accommodation, there's no emergency care out this way. The Yarra Ranges is an enormous area. It's hard to cover it all with one organisation, so we really rely on other organisations and individuals to help us. We've recently done some work with Anchor and the Salvation Army, and have mapped out hotspots where rough sleepers have been seen, and hopefully that'll form the impetus sort of for a new program coming up in the new year. But the area is so vast, and it's just really hard to number the people who are homeless and work out where they all are just based on that. But the research that we've done and creating the hotspots hopefully will allow us to start working in some of these primary areas that we've identified as being targeted areas. Our primary work in the advocacy field is in working with a group called the Yarra Ranges Housing Action Group, and we do a lot of work in advocating both the state and federal governments to take action against poverty and homelessness. In the advocacy space too, we've done a lot of work with the Yarra Ranges Council and have been advocating for 10 years now on behalf of homelessness and people who are on the streets, and have seen dramatic changes in those 10 years to what it was and what it is now. Holy Fools is funded entirely by donations. We have a number of regular donors, but we also receive a number of one-off donations from people from the community and from community groups and churches. We occasionally get grants that we apply for, usually for specific things like the new barbecue or the new trailer, but on the whole we're funded really by the generosity of the community. We're always after donations. Donations are our lifeblood, and we need things like non-perishable food. We need blankets, we need clothing, and appropriate clothing obviously for the seasons, and we're always on the need for funding to help fund what we do, and also fund things like purchase of swags and things like that. Donating is easy. You can either donate it via our website, or if you have material things, you can always drop them down at our office or some other locations that are on our website as well. In 2019, Holy Fools is celebrating its 10th year. It has been a remarkable 10 years, and we wouldn't have gotten to be here without really the support and generosity of so many people, so many organisations, and just the generosity of the community as a whole. We'd like to see that in the next 10 years there are some dramatic changes in the the fact of homelessness and poverty in the Yarra Ranges. And that would be the inclusion of maybe some crisis and emergency accommodation, but even the ending of homelessness in the Yarra Ranges. That can only come about from working with the community and making the community aware of what's going on, getting the community involved in actually participating in ending it. And it's going to take the community, the government and people rallying together to end homelessness.